This is Manirabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Golavinaka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Grove Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade. This is FBC News. Tonight, transport industry encouraged to move away from fossil fuels. Government wants agricultural sector to adopt modern technology. And real estate agents told to consider cheaper homes for Fijians. Fiji's annual fuel import bill now stands at around $1.2 billion. The Fiji National Transport Consultative Annual Forum heard today that fossil fuel imports have been increasing steadily for the last 12 years. Ali Kimbia has more.
Given the increasing motor vehicle population, the transport industry is embarking on a new plan to reduce the use of fossil fuels.
Fiji's transport sector, however, is heavily reliant on fossil fuel and now focused on sustainable transport in both land and maritime sectors. And I make the point that it's both land and maritime sectors we're interested in.
Fiji currently uses about 65% of its total imported fuel of around 500 million litres a year on transport alone. Bailey says they will continue to explore alternatives.
Continue to explore alternative renewable and affordable transport fuels, including renewable energy sources, in order to reduce Fiji's dependence on imported fossil fuels. That drives our transport sector.
If we can see the Suvarnasuri corridor, there is a lot of cars, and I think roads should be widened so there should be no traffic. And I don't know why there is too many cars.
I think there are a lot of cars and it should be controlled. If many cars come to Fiji, then how will we deal with it? And more roads should be constructed.
Some of the problems identified include lack of capacities of cars in urban and peri-urban areas, lack of parking space, increase in traffic accidents, stress on motorists, and increase in incident and health risk. As Fiji's economy grows, it's expected to put more pressure on the land transport sector if a way forward isn't found soon. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The International Criminal Police Organization, or Interpol, has been called in to assist the Fiji police force in investigating the discovery of body parts at Nathandola Beach in Singatoka. Chief of Intelligence ACP Lukianavela confirms Interpol will also help in trying to find a missing Russian couple whose vehicle was found in Nathandola. Another body part was found in the vicinity yesterday and is being kept at the Nandi Hospital awaiting forensic tests. At this point of the investigation, police still can't positively confirm if the body parts are linked to the two missing people. Anyone with information is requested to call Crime Stoppers on 919. While the growth of the real estate industry is important, stakeholders must recognize that it is equally critical to provide affordable housing to all Fijians. Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya made this statement while opening the two-day inaugural national workshop for real estate agents and sales personnel in Nandi this morning. Madimbolai Tamana has more.
The Minister for Trade Fayaz Koya reminding the stakeholders the importance of adhering to the laws of the land.
Whilst the growth of the industry is important, it is also critical to provide affordable housing to all Fijians, as is provided for in the Fijian Constitution.
Koya says the government has also put in place specific policies that encourage Fijians to purchase their own property.
We are aware of the rising demands for housing, especially in the major urban centres. Therefore, over the past year, various policy changes have been undertaken to ensure that affordable residential properties are available to ordinary Fijians.
He also says that the challenge is keeping real estate agents from being involved in unscrupulous dealings.
It is also your duty as real estate agents to work within the ambit of the law and ensure that the industry is clean and rid of unscrupulous dealings.
Koya says government will be working closely with its other key agencies in the Tax Office and Consumer Council of Fiji to keep the industry in check for the future. Madiun Boleh-Tamana, FBC News.
A new initiative to attract young people and women to the agriculture sector will soon be launched by the Ministry of Agriculture. It's being introduced due to a shortage of labour in farming communities. Eleanor Rangaivu reports.
The rice industry in the Northern Division is doing well under the government's revitalization program. Agriculture Minister Inyase Riratu visited the farms in Reketi and was impressed with work currently undertaken.
Rice is one of the main crops, and Vanuatu is one of our biggest producers, particularly the irrigated area in Reketi, and I'm very pleased with the progress that I've seen.
About 90% of rice farmers in Vanuatu are over the age of 50. A new initiative will be introduced in the new financial year to help attract younger farmers.
We need to have some replacement farmers policy, incentives in place. It is our plan after this announcement of the 2016-17 budget for us to launch agriculture initiatives on youth in agriculture and women in agriculture as well.
Due to labour shortage, government introduced the use of machines in the production of rice. And to this end, about $12 million worth of machines and equipment have been given by the Chinese government to help the rice industry.
The mechanization is working very well. Rice used to be produced at about 2 tons average per acre, but now they are producing about 6 tons, which is very, very encouraging now.
The aim of the revitalization of the rice industry is to help arrest the import bill, which currently stands at $40 million a year. Eleanor Rangaivu, FBC News.
The introduction of electronic agriculture will help the government enhance practices in rural development. Permanent Secretary for Agriculture, Jitendra Singh, says the agro industry needs to move into the digital age to improve information and communication processes. Sainiani Boiler reports.
More farmers around Fiji now own smartphones and other high-tech gadgets which can be used to access information on production and other necessary details.
It aims to improve communication and learning processes between the actors involved in agriculture. It is certainly a productivity-enhancing tool. Compared with the past, when we used to gather statistics from the fields using paper forms, which needed to be physically brought into an office to be entered, we can now use agriculture to upload farm statistics instantaneously from the farm itself using a smartphone or tablet.
A workshop in Suva today explored the design and application of e-agriculture in rural Fiji. Food and Agriculture Organization Assistant Representative Joanne Young says access to the right information at the right time in the right way would help the FAO make informed decisions and help the ministry.
There is a continuing need to provide the right information to the people who need to make the decisions that make the difference to livelihoods and sustainability. This is where favorable policies and an enabling environment has to be created to facilitate the creation and use of sustainable ICT solutions.
The use of smart devices could be an important resource for farmers with the right investment. More than 20 agriculture officers attended the workshop today and will now work on developing Fiji-based applications. Sainiani Boila, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, shipping weight restrictions to ensure safety at sea. And St. John of Fiji is struggling with the shortage of ambulances. Stay with us.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy. I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah. I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Mulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A National Council of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises will be set up in the new financial year along with the Central Coordinating Agency. The new agency will consolidate and administer assistance to all micro and small businesses. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
Earlier this month, 903 Fijians received micro-small business grants of up to $1,000 each to assist their homegrown business. It was the 14th such distribution.
A lot of work has been done in this area. We know that it's an important, very important sector in terms of job creation, in terms of the effort towards our economy. So there is no coordination of this amongst all the agencies, as well as the Reserve Bank, working towards assisting SMEs.
In the 2016-2017 national budget, scoping work to establish a National Council of MSMEs has been allocated $300,000. Trade Minister Fayaz Koya says the makeup of the umbrella organisation has already been discussed.
Bring all of the different ministries together with respect to the SME sector. The council will be headed up by the Prime Minister and obviously there will be ministers on the council, the relevant ministers, and I think there's a board also that will be Reserve Bank and maybe the private sector.
Koya adds this is part and parcel of building a resilient economy.
Generally speaking, we need to expand our economic base and we really need to just stop relying on one particular sector all the time. So it's an important area for us because all around the world SMEs are the engine for growth.
Several ministries currently administer MSME programs. Once the Central Coordinating Agency is set up, all of the financing, monitoring and evaluation as well as training will be handled by the umbrella organisation. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
There is a shortage of ambulances when compared to the needs of the public. St. John Ambulance Manager Lloyd Artak says they need a bigger fleet when it comes to attending emergencies around the country.
Not all emergencies can be attended to by St. John's Ambulance Services because of the limited number of vehicles. With this in mind, Namosi Joint Venture has donated a new four-wheel drive vehicle to St. John, and Country Manager Gregory Morris says it should provide some relief.
Recently we've heard about the lack of ambulances in Fiji generally, and this ambulance in particular is a four-wheel drive ambulance which will enable St. John's to better able to deliver their services to other places which they normally would not be able to get to because of the conditions of the roads.
The organisation says it wants to increase its commitment and service to the public. This includes attending to emergencies in isolated rural areas.
This enables us to extend our work mostly into the interior areas where the roads are, where you need actually a four-wheel drive, and it will help us to meet the demands of the public in these areas, where we can provide a much more better and efficient service.
St. John's over the past few years has had a shortage of ambulances. They are currently running with 2. This will make it its third, allowing them to deliver more services to the public. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
As of July the 1st, all pack containers will be checked for their weight to ensure they are within regulations. According to Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji, come 1st July, the gross mass of all pack containers will be verified prior to storage aboard ship. Savaratamboa has more details.
The International Maritime Organization has approved the changes to ensure the safety of the ship, of the workers both aboard ship and ashore, and the overall safety at sea. Neptune Shipping Company and William & Goslings welcome the decision despite the work involved.
It will be a bonus for safety, firstly for on land and the transportation of the containers. There will be a bonus for the safety at sea, for the ship's stability and making sure there's no loss of life at sea.
It's good for the ships there, the vessels. It brings a bit of discipline into the methods of calculating the weights. I think that's what it is.
Shippers needs to make sure the required process is followed, otherwise containers will not be loaded.
The shipper is also responsible for ensuring that the verified gross mass is communicated in the shipping documentation sufficiently in advance to be used by the shipmaster or the ship's agents and Fiji Ports Terminal Limited in the preparation of ship's storage plan.
The policy on the new requirement for the verified gross weight of a container is under Section 26 of the Maritime Safety Authority of Fiji Decree 2009. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
A team from the Sahadri Group of Hospitals in India has conducted 18 successful open heart surgeries and advanced cardiology in Suva this month. Health and Medical Services Ministry spokesperson Sunil Chandra says the team, which was in Fiji for almost 3 weeks, returned to India this morning. Chandra says that each surgery costs about $25,000. However, patients receive some financial assistance from the Health Ministry as well.
Some people suffer multiple blocks in the heart, so and some suffer less. So the ones who have more blockages are pretty challenging in the line of work.
The next round of surgeries will be performed when there are enough patients registered with the ministry. Now with the latest in sports, here's Jamie.
Nakataki, and good evening. Coming up tonight, Fiji ready to host its biggest match of the year. And 5 players yet to join Suva camp. Details after the break.
आपको खरगंगा की रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाटोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी, हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनते हैं।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब होता हूँ कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens and TFL Fijiana teams were reminded of their Olympic Games goal by President Major General Chochi Conrote today. The president told the national reps that they will be carrying the hopes of the nation in Brazil. Vaishnal Prasad reports.
Seeking the nation's blessing, the Fiji Sevens and Fijiana team were given a strong message by President Chochi Conrote.
In fact, the entire nation and all Fijians around the world believe that the team will do us proud, teams will do us proud, winning Fiji's first Olympic medals.
It was once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for the families of these players to meet some national heroes. President Conrote also spoke of his passion for Sevens rugby.
Look forward to shaking your hands. I've got people sitting at the back there. I'm looking forward to this morning, this afternoon, to be photographed with you. It's such an honor to meet you and to photograph you.
Hopes of Fiji's first ever medal are with these 2 teams going to the Olympic Games. Conrote also reminded them the bonus on offer.
I have every confidence you will be first to receive such a reward. And in doing so, rugby will be at the forefront again in making a difference in the lives of many young men and women in Fiji.
For those in attendance, it was a time to capture memories and to meet our national heroes. Vaishnal Prasad, FBC Sports.
When the Chiefs take on the Crusaders on Friday night in Suva, it will be one of the biggest rugby matches ever played in Fiji. And officials at the Fiji Sports Council have been working overtime to ensure ANZ Stadium is in top shape for the event. Vaishnal Prasad reports.
Fiji Sports Council Chief Executive Litiana Lombuka is all smiles ahead of the inaugural Super Rugby match between the Chiefs and Crusaders.
Even leading up to this weekend, we've had the team on the ground as well, just doing all the last touch-up works at the facility. There wasn't really a lot of major infrastructure work required to deliver this game because a lot of it is already here thanks to the government funding from 2012.
With 4 days to go, all grandstand and the concrete embankment tickets have been sold out. Only the grass embankment tickets are left, and Luambuka says these 2 are selling fast.
The only tickets available are the grass embankment tickets, and we only have 2,000 of those left.
For fans at the ground, the Sports Council has installed a giant screen at ANZ Stadium to catch all the action.
Grateful that that's been installed on time before the actual competition on Friday night, and we've got a grandstand, temporary grandstand seats been installed up there by the form SCAF team. So these are just touch-up works that have had to be completed.
The Fiji Sports Council is carrying out some minor works here at the ANZ Stadium. The facilities, including the change room, the medical centre and the pitch, is all ready to take on two of the biggest clubs of Super Rugby here on Friday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Despite missing 5 key players at practice today, Suva Football is optimistic of its chances against Rewa in the semi-finals of the Vodafone Fiji FAC this Saturday. Rohit Deo caught up with the team at training today and filed this report.
No sign of national reps Ben Amino Mateo Nangara, Sateriki Hughes, Nikhil Chand and Chalen Reloa at Suva's training run today. Samuel Adunru also did not attend due to personal commitments.
4 days are very, very important. And we're still waiting for the national players. Hopefully they'll join today or maybe tomorrow morning, so that we can start building up the combination and looking at the performance of the other team, Rewa, and start working on that.
Suva has won the Fiji FAC title 2 times, the last time being in 2012. Coach Gurjit Singh is confident of a 3rd title this weekend.
4 teams are good team. If you look at that 4 teams, all 4 teams are very good teams. So it is a very, very important the team which makes the least mistake. You cannot make mistakes in the knockout stages. So we'll be looking forward to win this tournament. As you said, it's almost 4 years now.
The Suva Rewa match kicks off at 5 p.m. on Saturday at Nosori Ratu Kambau Park. In the first semi-final, Nandi plays Lambasa at 3 p.m. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
7 teams will take part in the World League Round 1 5-a-side hockey tournament from tomorrow at the National Hockey Centre. Fiji have been tipped as favourites in both the men's and women's competition, which sees the winners gaining qualification for the World League Round 2. Vashnil Prasad with the details.
The final practice run before the World League Round 1 begins tomorrow. Defending champions, Fiji is ready to dominate the tournament at home.
Only 2 survivors from the South Pacific Games. But as you know, people like Livan and Martin Fong, they didn't make South Pacific Games team. They're very good players, seasoned players, and also L.C. Smith. So, yeah, we're going to expose some new players and a very young player from Lautoka, Peli Nanduba.
Winners in the men's and women's category qualify to round 2 and improve on the world rankings.
Every time a team plays another team and is considered a test match, then there are points, world ranking points, both for winning. The winner gets points, but also the loser also gathers points.
This is the first time Fiji is hosting the shorter version of the sport, and organisers say Fiji, despite being Pacific Games gold medalists, won't find the tournament easy.
Fiji was clearly dominant in Pacific Games. I think some of these countries, Vanuatu and Solomon Islands, Papua New Guinea particularly, have closed the gap.
Fiji men's side takes on Tonga in its first match at 9 a.m, while the women's team faces Papua New Guinea at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
That's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The Tano Raki Raki Hotel, which suffered major damage in tropical cyclone Winston, will reopen partially on July 1st. The first stage of the rebuild includes 10 rooms and the main service building, which incorporates the reception, restaurant and bar. Ariel, general manager, says the hotel was badly hit by tropical cyclone Winston and staff were all personally impacted, but they displayed true Fijian spirit and never gave up. Stage 2 involves rebuilding and remaining accommodation blocks, which will begin later this year. It was a sunny day once again, with brief passing showers about the south and east of the country, clearing to a fine day. Looking at the temperatures, Lambasa was the warmest in the nation at 32 degrees, while Ba followed at 31. The rest of the centres were cool in the high 20s, Suva at 28. Tomorrow will be much like today with sunny skies and a slight chance of brief overnight or early morning showers in the east. Expect a cool night. And the further outlook is we're looking ahead to Wednesday. The comfortable conditions will continue with overnight showers. At sea, southeast winds gusting up to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight, transport industry encouraged to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. St. John, Fiji faces ambulance shortage in its efforts to serve rural Fiji, and Interpol to help investigate the discovery of body parts in Natandola. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Results from last week's poll question, we had asked, should there be a film about the Fiji Sevens team? 78% answered yes. This week, we are asking, do you agree with FIRCA publicly listing second-hand vehicle prices? To answer, visit our FBC website. Be sure to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. Good night.
Alango Katonesia Tuotua, Awonia Saurara. Although we'll take you on a TV and a market tawa. Although Talitana, Warrona, Bula FM, and Namandu and a set.
Pulamana Viti, Nadago Palacio Materia, one of my Nanan Bula Taviuni, I was at Tuga Nandi, and the Talitaina, Warrongo, and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.